Hello, it is the last week of questionable lighting. Welcome to Candor with Katie. I have some fun new stuff to show you. Today we're going to talk about the legend of the lost Dutchman mine because it's pretty interesting. And I'm out here in Apache Junction, so forgot to get a map. I probably could pull a Google map up. But anyway, here's the intro. I'll be right back. Boom! Let's do this. Hello. Okay, so this lighting, I have a light on underneath me here. Look. Oh, ooh, it's fitting for the topic tonight. I just have to pull up my Google Slides. So I've been in this. I don't know. So many people are just like whatever. Old folks trailer park, 55 plus living, senior, whatever it's called. I mean, I could live here, but they're interesting little spots. You know, like they're really tiny. Boy, I look tired today. Man, look at the dog here. The dog follows me around. It's so cute. So I only have 3 more nights with this little tyke. I totally lost my train of thought. There's my ADHD kicking in. I don't know if Sasquatch will stay on here, but we'll try. Anyway, I've been out here in Apache Junction, and it's on. Okay, so like Phoenix is a valley, and there's mountains all around us, and the Superstition Mountains are out here, and some other ones. And you know, I've lived here since 1994. It's been a long time, but I didn't realize like it's basically like the backside of the mountains. It's kind of neat, and it's really pretty. And then I thought, well, what am I going to talk about? And so then this came up, and so I'm going to tell you about it. Okay, so the Lost Dutchman's Gold Mine. So that's the Superstition Mountains right there. Okay, so if I told you there might be millions of dollars worth of gold hidden less than an hour from Phoenix, and that's where I'm at right now, would you go looking for it? Because people have been asking themselves that question for over 100 years. This sort of reminds me of a legend like D.B. Sweeney, if you guys know that legend. And I broke my other glasses, so I got to wear these tonight. As many of you know, I've been dog sitting here in Apache Junction. And so this is actually my last few nights. I leave on Friday. So every single day I'm looking at these mountains and I think they're so beautiful and they're rugged. And then you think, what's hiding out there? And then you start digging, you know? And so if I hadn't been staying here, I probably wouldn't have thought about it. So then once I started looking up, I couldn't stop, right? Because somewhere hidden in these mountains is one of Arizona's greatest legends. And it's the Lost Dutchman mine. Okay, so here's what it looks like. This is like the site, okay? And then supposedly this, right? So as I researched, I found old mine photos and maps like these. Are they connected to the Lost Dutchman mine? No one knows for sure. And that's exactly why the mystery lives on. Okay, so I found it's a story that kind of went away for a while and then came back. So somewhere in these mountains is an incredibly rich mine. So people have searched for it. People have gotten lost looking for it. Some have dedicated years of their lives trying to find it. And yet nobody has ever proven where it is. Do I look creepy in that thing? So here's this guy. I forgot to put his name on here. Oh, there it is. German immigrant Jacob Waltz is the man most closely associated with the legend of the Lost Dutchman mine. Whether he really discovered a hidden fortune in the Superstition Mountains remains one of Arizona's biggest mysteries. I am live, right? I mean, I'm on where people can see me. It's not private because nobody's on here. That's kind of strange. Okay, yeah. I'm the only one. Well, okay, so for those of you that don't know on the YouTubes, look at this cool thing that I can do. Look at this. Like and subscribe. Hello. Oh my God, I look creepy. I do these live, so I have to have all this stuff prepared ahead of time. And so I'm not editing afterward. I just download this when I'm done and I upload it to YouTube. I used to do it live, but nobody really watched the live. So, okay. So back to this guy. Okay. Jacob Waltz. So He ironically wasn't Dutch at all, but back then people often confused the German word Deutsch with Dutch, and somehow the nickname stuck. According to the legend, Waltz discovered an incredibly rich gold mine hidden in the Superstition Mountains, as I've mentioned before. Some stories say members of the Peralta family showed him where it was. Others say he found it completely on his own. But like every good legend, and I'll talk about the Peralta family in a minute, nobody agrees on all the details, but almost every version agrees on one thing. If Jacob Waltz really found that mine, he kept its location a secret. Okay, so if you know the legend of D.B. Cooper, I always want to say D.B. Sweeney, the actor. If you know the legend of D.B. Cooper, he was a guy that I think he robbed a bank. I should have looked it up before this, but he got in an airplane and then the airplane crashed or he jumped out of it or something. And they never found him and they never found the money. So like it'd be worth millions now. So they're kind of saying here, this guy, okay, did he keep it? Did he just keep the location a secret? So a did you know thing is some historians believe there was not a mine at all, ever. Maybe he just simply stumbled across a rich vein of gold and maybe he exaggerated, or maybe he really did find one of the richest deposits in Arizona that Arizona has ever known. Nobody really knows, okay? So this lady right here, okay, when Jacob Waltz died in 1891, can you imagine this? I always find it odd that we have pictures from then. I mean, it just seems like it's just kind of weird to me. But okay, so when he died in 1891, he reportedly left behind 48 pounds of rich gold ore and clues to the mine's location. Julia Thomas, pictured here obviously, believed those clues and became the first person to lead a search for the legendary lost Dutchman mine. Okay, so she cared for him in his final days, and it says that before he died, he shared the clues to the mine's location. It was not a map, it was not exact directions, but it was just enough information to make someone believe that they could find it. And so after Waltz died, Julia gathered a group and headed into the mountains, and she became the very first person to officially search for the lost Dutchman mine. She came home empty-handed, of course, and that's where this mystery begins. Because if the woman who supposedly had the clues couldn't find it, who could? Okay. So the legend almost disappeared. And here's something I didn't know. The legend, it went away it just faded for like decades, and almost nobody talked about it. And then this guy came along. Okay. Adolph Ruth vanished in the Superstition Mountains in 1931. This is 1 year after my historic home was built. The search for the lost Dutchman mine took a dark turn. His mysterious death captivated the nation and cemented the legend as one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries. Now that's pretty cool, right? So in 1931, he was a 66-year-old treasure hunter. Okay. So this guy, Adolph Ruth, entered the Superstition Mountains carrying a map that he believed would lead him to the treasure, but he never came home. Months later, searchers found his remains. His disappearance, as it says, became national news, and suddenly everybody wanted to know, did he find something? Did he get close? Or did the mountains simply claim another victim? Now, one thing I would like to know is what month he did this, because it would be uber hot. Oh, hey, I'm sorry, I had 2 comments. Yay, Pam, we need to go hunting. Exactly. But when it's not hot. And then she says, Laura and I are eating chicken pot pie. Loving this episode. Yay. I know. I think I want to do more like this. It's really interesting. So I can find interesting history everywhere, especially with this like creepy lighting. Ooh. So anyhow, this is super fascinating to me, this kind of stuff also. I love it. So nobody knows, right? Nobody knows what happened, but one thing is certain, his story brought the lost Dutchman mine back into the spotlight, and it's never really left. Oh, by the way, Laura, hi. Sorry, I wasn't even registering. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. My friends in Burnaby. Okay, so here is what got me thinking. Okay, so look at this. So long before the lost Dutchman mine, people were creating treasure maps. The oldest known example, the Copper Scroll, dates back nearly 2,000 years, and it lists dozens of locations where gold and silver were supposedly hidden. Whoa, how cool is that? So this is what I was thinking. Treasure maps aren't just something from pirate movies or pirate history. People have been creating them for thousands of years. The oldest known treasure map is called this one, the Copper Scroll. It's almost 2,000 years old. Okay. So maybe the idea of someone hiding treasure, someone else spending a lifetime trying to find it, isn't that strange after all? So my question is, I thought I could do a poll here. Let me see if I can do this, because StreamYard, the service I use, has gotten a little bit fancy. But I don't know if it'll come up. Hang on a sec. Hold, please. Yeah, no, I don't know how to do it. So I'm going to have to, I put a poll in earlier. So, because I wanted to know, here's my question. Would you go? Let's say tomorrow, somebody gave you a weathered old map, had strange symbols, old landmarks, maybe even directions that look convincing. Would you go? Seriously, would you go? I'd love to tell you that I'd make the responsible decision, but you guys know me better, because I don't think I'd say that's ridiculous. I love to live in a world of wonder. I love to believe there's a Sasquatch out there, because I mean, come on, it's his cousin. You know what I'm saying? But it's also, it kind of feeds your brain. Like it gives you a sense of wonder and excitement, right? So you'd probably see me out there with beef jerky looking for the Sasquatch, and I'd have 18 gallons of water and enough sunscreen to survive the apocalypse, because, I mean, come on, I am Scandinavian. But I'd also be thinking, if I didn't do it, right, I'd be thinking what everybody has been thinking for over a century. What if? What if? Right? Okay, so if you think about this, okay, you got Sasquatch up there, Sasquatch's cousin, D.B. Cooper, the guy that I was talking about, Amelia Earhart, okay, she disappeared. What if she's just living on she was living on some island somewhere? Laura and Pam say, yes, exactly. See, you'd go with me, right? Are there Sasquatch out there? I think I dated one once. Funnily enough, Pam says this. I was doing the dating sites years ago, and I was going to write a book called Searching for Sasquatch, the tall guy, not the hairy one. So, as you know, I love the Sasquatch. I love anything related to it. I love the documentaries. But this is interesting, right? So that other thing. Now, Pam would know about this. It's not, I guess, close. Well, it's closer to where she grew up because it's on the East Coast. But that's called Oak Island, and I was obsessively watching the show for a while. And there's supposedly buried treasure there too, way deep down. So thinking about this, why do we love mysteries like this? All of this: Bigfoot, D.B. Cooper, Amelia Earhart, Oak Island. It's not really about gold. It's about us. So what kind of mysteries have captured your imagination? These have captured mine, all of these, right? And the Lost Dutchman mine, it's a different story altogether than these, but they all leave us with the exact same question. What if? What if Bigfoot really exists? What if Amelia Earhart landed somewhere nobody ever searched? What if Oak Island had the treasure, like I just said? And what if Jacob Waltz really did discover a fortune that's still sitting somewhere in those mountains? And maybe that's why these stories never disappear. Not because we expect to solve them, but because we love wondering. Because wondering is fun. It keeps our imagination alive. And honestly, maybe we've lost a little too much of that, right? Now, here's another cool thing about this Superstition Mountains. And I keep forgetting to come out here. I think it's March and like September, October. Do you see that picture? That's a cougar. It's a shadow of a cougar that shows over the mountain only certain times of the year. I don't know if I actually put the stuff in there. Okay. So I need to come back out here and I will do a little podcast about this because that's really interesting. You have to go all the way to the back side of the mountain. But I'm out here, so it wouldn't be that far for me. So I'm going to leave, Apache Junction on Friday. And I'm probably going to venture this way out a little bit more. And Pam, if you come, we're definitely coming out here. There's a place to eat out here called Tortilla Flats. I hung out with my friend Mike at this cool bar that wasn't far from here the other night that had live music. And parts of it out here, now parts of it is like, whoa, but it's just gorgeous. These mountains are unbelievably beautiful. So we may never know whether there's really a fortune hidden somewhere out there. But every time you hear someone mention the Superstition Mountains, maybe you think to yourself, what if? It's a legend. Maybe the legend is the real treasure, not the gold, not the map, not even the mystery itself. Maybe it's a reminder that there are still stories that we cannot explain, questions we can't answer, places that still make us curious. So in a world where we can pull almost any fact out of our phones in seconds, like my sister and I talk about this, when we were kids, we loved looking stuff up in the dictionary. I know. We loved researching that. We loved doing that. Okay. But you can find anything here now in seconds. Like if I don't know an actor in a movie or a TV show, I can look them up right away and find out who it is. Right. So it's kind of like knowing there are still a few mysteries left. So tonight I'm going to leave you with one question. Oh, you know what? Let me see here. I think I'm done with this. Yeah. Okay. I'll get rid of that. So I'm going to leave you with one question. Okay. That's it. I asked it already. If tomorrow someone handed you a map, would you go looking? Okay. Interesting, right? That is I guess I did my final thoughts without thinking they were my final thoughts, but the basic thing is, I think we all need a little more wonder. We all need a little more whimsy, a little what ifs in our lives, And I, for one, just love stories like this, especially if you don't know what the heck it is, right? So, hey, thanks for joining me. I'll do this awesome thing again. Haha, if you're on the YouTubes, like and subscribe. Awesome. You know what Sitsquatch says. He says the journey begins with you. So be good to yourself. He's going to fall. So I'm going to pick. Oh, he's doing good. Sitsquatch on his tiny hiney. Not happy. And this is me, guys. I love you. I will see you next week. Thanks for joining me.